everybody. Welcome in. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
My mic is really quiet today. I had to bump myself up a little
Yeah.
bit there. Started a little quiet.
I thought it sounded good.
I was like, my ears was quiet. I had to make some setting adjustments.
All right.
We're good now, though. I changed it.
It sounds good.
Yeah, okay, cool. You sound great, too, Mark.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
It's always nice to get a compliment. I'll take it any way I can get it.
Okay. You know what? You are a human.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
A good one.
You know, it's
A good
very
one.
difficult for people to sometimes accept an apology. I mean, not an apology, accept a compliment.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Yeah.
Let me just give you some advice. Just say thank you.
Yeah. An enthusiastic thank you.
Yeah.
Oh,
thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. You don't have to be awkward about it. You don't have to be like, I mean.
Women seem to have a more difficult time than men for whatever reason. Maybe it's ego, maybe whatever.
And I think too, men are just kind of like, whenever we get a compliment, we're like, really?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Not me.
I haven't
I'm
got
like,
one of those before.
oh, not me. I'm like, I know.
Yeah. If
I
I
know.
get a
No, I'm just
compliment, I'm like, really? I don't remember the last time I got a compliment, so thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, maybe that's part of it. Yeah. I don't know. Is that what today's show is going to be? Is compliments?
Yes.
And courtesies?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, welcome into the show, everybody, on this, we're now into the second half of August. We've made it that far today. So, Wednesdays are always one of those where we do have a little bit of Tuesday stuff to talk about. We got a little bit of volleyball from last night.
Oh, my gosh. It was such a great night of volleyball.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
So good.
But we're kind of in that middle of the week phase where the weekend football stuff hasn't quite hit, It's almost too early to talk about the stuff coming up, but it's too late to talk about the stuff that happened. So football might be a little bit sparse today, but we'll still talk a little bit about it, especially with NFL right now. There's interesting NFL news. Of course, we've got some of our favorite segments, Fan, Not a Fan. We got Jason Baum coming in later today as well. So we're going to be talking about our Baum Sports moments. That'll be fun. I assume he'll have one prepared for us, ready to go.
Yeah, I had some contact with him earlier today, and he is bringing in some good stuff, he said.
Okay, I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. Very good. Well, let's talk about volleyball a little bit today. I know that you were at Desert Hills last night to talk, or to PA announce some volleyball. So you were there. You saw some action. Let's talk about it. What did we see over there at Desert Hills?
Yeah, Orem, obviously, we talked about it yesterday on the show. They are the preseason number 1 for a volleyball team. And Desert Hills coming in at number 2. Let me tell you what, it was everything I thought it would be. I was hoping that the result would be a little different, but it was such great volleyball. I will tell you that Orem did walk away with the 3-1 win, but listen to these scores.
Oh, I got it pulled up. It's amazing.
First set, 25-23 Desert Hills. Second set, 25-23 Orem. Third set, 25-22 Orem. And the fourth set, 27-25 Orem. Those sets, well, really even the first set, all those sets could have went either way. It was so close. I don't think either team had more than a 4-point lead at any time during all 4 of those sets. I just don't think they did. I don't remember there being any sort of a gap between these two teams. Both teams have height up front. They've got good middles, lots of blocks last night, lots of kills, some great digs. Saw a couple of pancakes as well. It was such fun volleyball. The result of it, I still walked away, even though that Lady Thunder lost. I still walked away just smiling and like, that was so awesome.
I mean, it sounds like a good one.
Oh.
Anytime you have those where the sets are within 2 or 3.
Oh my gosh.
That makes it so much fun.
It was great volleyball. I'm telling you what, that could have been a preview.
That would have been a long had to have been a long game.
We were there for about 2 hours.
Yeah, it's a long game.
Yeah.
Even though it didn't go 5 sets, that's still a long game.
It was.
It's crazy.
It wouldn't surprise me at all. Now I haven't seen other 4A teams like Ridgeline. They're going to be good.
Yeah.
There were a couple others on that Des News article, but this could have been a look at the state championships. It could very easily be Desert Hills versus Orem in the state championships. And I'd hate to put that on those two teams, being it's this early, but just that it was such great volleyball. They have a player on their team. I don't have their roster pulled up, but her last name is Blackett, and number 13. And I'm telling you what, I haven't seen an outside hitter hit the ball like that in several years.
Just that good.
Oh, she is a phenomenal volleyball player. Phenomenal.
That's awesome.
So
I love watching some good competition. That's really what it comes down to.
Desert Hills with Lauren Larkin, with Hallie Heath, Brooklyn Robinson, Taylor Graff. The front line of Desert Hills they were great as well. I mean, there were lots of kills, some Thor's hammer, great volleyball all around. It's going to be a great season for both of those teams. I really feel that for both Orem and Desert Hills. It was such good volleyball. I know I sound like a broken record saying that, but it really was.
Yeah, that is awesome. We all know that Cedar's going to be good this year, too, in volleyball. We've talked about that before. Well, they've got one game under their belt, and it was a blowout, quite frankly. So Cedar played Richfield. They won in 3 sets, 3 sets to nothing. The closest set was 25-21. They had one that was 25-10 and 25-16. So all around, Cedar just had it going for them. It was kind of all Cedar all the way. So they are scheduled to play Provo coming up next. They have a shorter preseason schedule. Not a lot of games here for the Lady Reds to get started. They'll have Provo on the 23rd and then on the 24th against Spanish Fork. So a quick Wednesday, Thursday matchup. And then they'll bounce back the next week on the 29th and take it on Pineview. So it'll get into region play here by the end of the month already.
Well, last night, also the Hurricane Lady Tigers were in action against your Enterprise Lady Wolves.
Heyo.
And Hurricane comes up with really a dominating win. Now, it was 3-1. Hurricane wins the first set 25-7. Must have been a long bus ride for Enterprise.
Yeah.
Set 2, Enterprise comes back, takes it 26-24. That sounds like some fun volleyball right there. And then Hurricane finished it out 25-15 and 25-12. Kind of 2 more dominating sets for Hurricane. Lady Tigers looking really good.
Yeah.
To start off this preseason time for girls volleyball.
Yeah, they have some good talent over there, right? I'm kind of looking at some of the stats here. It looks like Chloe Wright's one of those that's going to be one of their main forces over there, as well as Kylie Kearney is going to be. Looks like she's got a lot of playtime in there. So, overall, Kiana Howard as well. So that's a couple seniors and juniors. It's a very junior heavy team, honestly. There's a few seniors sprinkled in there. I'm seeing 1, 2, 3 seniors, but it's a junior heavy team. So Hurricane's going to be good this year and next year.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty exciting for the Tigers.
Yeah.
Lady Tigers getting some good work in there. So,
And today, if you do want to go watch some volleyball, Panguitch is traveling down to take on the Pineview Lady Panthers. I'm showing that as tonight at 7 o'clock over at the pit at Pineview. So if you do want to watch some volleyball, Panguitch versus Pineview tonight, 7 o'clock.
By the way, I'm looking at Enterprise roster. A lot of sophomores.
Is there?
1 senior, 1 junior, sophomores. So really, Enterprise right now is looking like as far as seniority goes, they kind of look more like a JV squad than a varsity squad. But it's just one of those years that you just got to build the programs, right?
Yeah.
And a lot of sophomores coming out to play. So there you have it for that. Let's see. Any other teams that were in action or will be in action coming up? I think that's about it,
that's
right?
all I'm showing for last night and for today. There's some more matches coming up on Thursday and Friday.
But we
Snow
can talk Canyon and Delta coming up later. They played back on Friday. So, I mean, we'll get to some of that later. But that's kind of where we're standing right now. And just as a reminder, too, when it comes to high school football, we do have games going on this Friday night, of course. You can catch these games over on thefansportsnetwork.com. Or, honestly, the easiest way to do this, guys, this is what I would suggest doing. Head on over to the Fan Sports Network YouTube page. Subscribe to the Fan Sports Network YouTube channel. Turn on the notification bell. So whenever we go live with those games, you will know that that the games are on, they're running. You just click on that notification and you can go right to the game that you want to watch. So I would suggest to do that. While you're over there, you can also just watch from the bleachers. We're streaming live right now, so you could watch us as well. But that's how I'd suggest to watch those. And then again, as a reminder for From the Bleachers on Friday, we are going to be on the road because we're going to be at Desert Hills and Lehigh, at Lehigh, of course. And by the time that From the Bleachers kicks on, we're probably going to be in a car driving up there. So we're not going to be doing the show from the car. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, we're not.
But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. But it should be a fun week of Region 9. I know that with everybody going back to school yesterday, that we'll probably even see more attendance at these games now that everyone's back in school, and between volleyball and football and any other sport going on. So should be a good time. I'm excited for some Region 9 sports. By the way, tonight, 6 o'clock, there's a cross-country meet in Cedar as well. So you can go and check out the Cedar, they call it the Cedar All-Comers something race.
I'll take your word for it.
Basically, it's not a region race. So,
hey, I've got something here that I wanted to talk about a couple of days ago, but we had so much to talk about that I kind of just put this on the back burner. I want to bring it up now, Caden.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so the Los Angeles Dodgers, by the way, they've won 9 straight. They retired Fernando Valenzuela's number over the weekend.
Okay. Yeah.
Now, you guys know my feelings on the Hall of Fame.
Mm-hmm.
You know, most of our listeners know that, you know what, if you have to make an argument for the guy, he doesn't belong in. That's always been my argument.
Absolutely.
But listen to this.
Okay.
So the Dodgers don't retire numbers unless they're in the Hall of Fame. Okay? Fernando is not. In fact, hasn't even been close. Okay? I think in the closest he was back in 2002 or 2003. I can't remember exactly what year he was first available. It was 2003. And he just received 6.2%. And then the next year he received 3.8% in 2004, which then that ruled him out of further consideration. Okay.
Yeah.
But here's my thoughts on this, and I get this from our good friend over at St. George News, Chris Reed. Okay, Chris was talking about this on his Facebook page, and in fact, I'm just going to quote Chris. Okay, I don't think he would mind if I did this. He goes, "My issue is that Fernando isn't in the Hall of Fame. Maybe not the numbers, but his impact on the game is certainly bigger than, let's say, Scott Rowland." Okay?
Sure.
Put it this way. If I say baseball and Fernando to any baseball fan, not even a Dodger fan, or even a non-baseball fan, they will know who you're talking about. Okay? I mean, you do. You say Fernando Valenzuela, people know Fernando.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if you say Rowland in baseball, do you think there would be the same recognition? I mean, let me ask you this. How many casual baseball fans, I'm going to say casual, know Scott Rowland? And this isn't a dig at Scott Rowland. Great player, by the way. Okay?
It would be an interesting poll. That would be an interesting poll to take.
And then how many casual fans, if you mentioned Fernando, I'll just go off first name.
Yeah.
Fernando. You don't even have to say Valenzuela.
I guarantee someone out there is going to be thinking Fernando Tatis, but But I would say that those would be your two, right?
Yeah.
And I'm not necessarily saying Fernando Tatis Jr. either, because the senior was also an impact. But you're right. You're right about that.
So my question is, should impact of the game come into play when you're talking Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Like I said, Dodgers.
I think so, yes.
The Dodgers don't retire numbers unless they're in the Hall of Fame. They made an exception here because Fernando had such a big impact on the game. I'm not gonna put him in the same light as Jackie Robinson. Okay, Jackie's in his own level.
No, Jackie's a one Jackie's a one.
He's on his own level.
Definitely on his own.
However, that's a fancy butt, like you say.
Fancy butt.
However, Fernando, when he came into the league, he's Mexican. His Mexican heritage, he showed it off. LA was the perfect place for him.
Well, and that's the other thing that I was just about to say, and you just hit it right there, is he was in a city where there's a heavy Mexican influence in that city, right? They had a guy to look up to right there, right? And yeah, you know what? His first year, I'm looking up his stats right now. He was Rookie of the Year. He was Cy Young. He was in the All-Star game for six years
times
in a row.
Yeah.
Multiple times that he was on the list of Cy Young candidates.
Two World Series championship teams. He's pitched a no-hitter.
Yeah. But you talk more about and those are the stats, and those are good stats, right? Those are some, well, not necessarily stats, but we'll say that those are some of his awards. But the impact that he had on not just his team, but on the city and on just baseball fans as a whole, it means something.
And the country of Mexico.
Yeah, and Mexico.
I mean,
absolutely.
The country of Mexico, Hispanic players, really were influenced by Fernando Valenzuela. Now, he wasn't the first Hispanic player or Mexican in baseball, but he seems to be one of the most influential. Fernando Mania was real. I lived through it.
Yeah.
Fernando Mania was real, especially when you went into Southern California. It was Fernando everything. I remember going to SoCal as a kid. I was probably 12, 13, 14 years old. I can't remember exactly what year it was. And there was this, what do you call those, like swap meets?
Like a flea market?
Like a flea market,
kind of
swap meet kind of thing. And we're walking around. Like I said, I'm 12 or 13. And they had this guy, and I still remember what he called himself. And he called himself the Happy Hat Man. Okay.
Okay.
And he had a tent just full of hats, Dodger hats, Padres hats, Giants hats, just baseball hats, football hats. And he called himself the Happy Hat Man. And he had hats everywhere on himself, just on his head, on his hands, and he's twirling them around. And I mean, he was a showman. It was awesome to watch him.
Yeah.
And he got talking Dodgers and Fernando Mania. I walked away with a Dodgers hat, some Fernando gear, like some swag that either I bought or he gave to me or whatever. But it was something that really consumed that city of Los Angeles. Fernando Mania was real all across baseball too. So I guess my I don't even know if I have a question here, but I did ask you earlier.
I guess the question
impact,
is, does he deserve to be in the Hall of Fame?
And I don't know if he does. Again, I'm not gonna fence sit on my thoughts on the Hall of Fame. I still believe if you have to make an argument for him for his numbers, then he doesn't belong.
Yeah.
However, does the impact that he had in baseball, does that count as well? If impact does come into play, and I think it does too. I don't know how much percentage-wise I would give it, but man, when you're talking impact, he checks all the boxes there.
Yeah, I think impact has to.
I do too.
And usually, here's the thing. Usually stats and impact kind of go together. And sometimes there are players, let's just take him as your example, right, with Fernando. where you think, man, that guy was really good. That guy was awesome, right? And then you might look at the stats and be like, oh, maybe not as good as we thought he was in comparison to some other guys. But in your mind, you're thinking, that dude's a Hall of Famer, right? Come on, right? In your mind, you're thinking, yeah, of course he's a Hall of Famer. You look at the stats, you're like, oh, maybe not.
Yeah.
That's the opposite of what most of them are. It's usually you think of a guy and you're like, ooh, were his stats good enough? I don't know. And you look at stats and you compare him to other Hall of Famers. You're like, yeah, I guess so. That makes sense why this guy would be a Hall of Famer. It's kind of opposite. This is a guy that you would assume is a Hall of Famer, and he's just not.
Right.
Because the stats weren't quite there.
And one thing
I feel like impact matters.
And one thing about Fernando, he was one of those pitchers that could hit too. He won 2 Silver Slugger awards.
There you go.
For his position.
You Shohei over there?
Yeah,
huh?
He was Shohei before Shohei.
Yeah, there you go.
He wasn't quite that good.
No, I don't think it. Here's the thing. Nobody's Shohei.
Well, Babe Ruth was.
Well, yeah, here's the thing.
I mean, we didn't see him play.
We didn't see
but...
it, and that's what's sad about this whole Shohei Babe Ruth, and I don't mean to get off on this tangent, but I will for just a second. We will never know if Shohei is really a better version or a similar version to Babe Ruth because we never watched Babe Ruth. We just don't know. We could say that they were similar players. We don't really know. We're just looking at stats.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I've never watched Babe Ruth play.
And just legendary stories.
Yeah,
just stories that we've heard from, that have been passed down from baseball generation to baseball generation of how Babe Ruth dominated the game while he was in it. But there's also other awesome stories about Babe Ruth, about his drinking, about his women, and all
the field stuff.
Oh man, be Babe Ruth back in those days.
I would have loved to have been in New York at that time to just experience that Yankee team. And I'm not a Yankees fan by any means, by the way, but I would have loved to have at least seen it. To at least see it and experience it would have been amazing.
Yeah.
So let's take a break. I've got an interesting story for you when we come back.
I also have a proposal for you. Okay. Not for you. Not that kind. But something to talk about, too.
We'll talk about it. More when we come back here on From the Bleachers. Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is from the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
So, Mark, to start things off, there was something interesting that happened at a minor league game recently.
Okay.
That we need to talk about. And I want to know if you think that this person went a little too far overboard.
Okay.
Okay. So this happened at a Tennessee Smokies game.
Oh, the Smokies.
The Smokies. I've actually seen where they play when I was in Tennessee.
Nice field?
It's very small.
Not like Las Vegas ballpark?
It's a double-A field. I mean, it's
no Las Vegas ballpark.
no Las Vegas ballpark. Kind of in the middle of nowhere, to be honest.
Okay.
Anyway, in between innings, there was there was a bad play call. So in between innings, when the PA announcer's up there and they're playing music and stuff, right? The teams come back out to go warm up for the next inning. This announcer decides to play Three Blind Mice.
Oh.
And as soon as the song comes on, there's a video of the behind the plate umpire. And you see the moment he realizes what it is and why it is. And he looks up and he points up at the booth and tosses him out of the game. Tosses the announcer out of the game for playing Three Blind Mice.
You're going to have to show me this video maybe a little bit later. But now
I got it pulled up right here.
Okay, I want to watch this because this is what I'm looking for. This is what I'm looking for. Go ahead and pause that for just 1 second.
Yep, I got to pause here. We'll get it pulled up for our YouTube viewers as well. So
what I'm looking for is, because in AA and AAA baseball, there can be just gimmicks. There can be, I want to know if this was scripted or if it was organic. So yeah, let's go ahead and play that. And
I'm pretty sure this was legit, but I don't have the audio with it because I haven't listened to it. I don't know if anything is actually
Oh, there's nothing bad on it. Come on.
Anyway, you see him look up and he just tosses him.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Get out of here!" And you can see he's fired up.
Yeah, he is fired
angry.
Angry. That's the funny thing. As a PA announcer myself, there's a lot of things that you want to do.
It's so funny.
There's a lot of songs that you want to play.
You just don't do it.
But you don't do it. Yes. There's a line certainly that can be crossed. That is crossing the line, because here's the deal too. As a PA announcer, you are technically part of the officiating crew.
You're part of the game.
Whether it's football, basketball, baseball, technically you are part of the officiating crew, and so you need to show them respect. Now, have I wanted to play things? Something like that, Three Blind Mice. I've never really thought of that one, but sure. You think about it, but then you're like, no. And obviously too, you got to think of the opponent. I mean, there's always things that you want to play maybe for the opponent too. And again, you just got to keep it professional. He did something, this PA announcer did something that most PA announcers want to do, but don't do it.
You don't do it
out of professionalism.
Some of the replies are pretty funny, and one of them just said, "Can he even do that?"
Yeah.
And there's a bunch that are just saying, "Man, that umpire just must be really insecure." There's a lot kind of along that line too, and I'm like, is it insecurity or is it upholding the standard of baseball?
Yeah, I don't think so, because here's the deal. If that umpire lets that go, then does that PA announcer or another PA announcer that heard about this and saw that nothing happened, go one more step and play something even more offensive or more degrading to the to the umpire crew. So I get it. And I know that, umpires can, as an umpire or an official, but since we're on baseball, I'll just stick to umpires. You've got to have deaf ears. You really do. You can't have rabbit ears, because if you do and you listen to everything that everybody's chirping, that's why I could never, ever do that.
No.
I could never be, especially a home plate umpire. Just couldn't do it, because I have rabbit ears. I hear everything, and just wouldn't want to do that. You have to have thick skin and deaf ears to be an umpire. However, when the PA announcer gets involved and puts things over the PA speaker, that's, like I said, you're part of the officiating crew technically.
Yeah.
And you need to be professional. There's times to have fun. Now,
Time for everything.
had he contact, if he would have talked to the umpire crew, say beforehand, and say, hey, gentlemen, I just want to kind of get some laughs and things like that. Would you mind if I did this if there was a questionable call? If there was one of those 50-50 calls, would you mind if I did this? Umpires may be like, yeah, let's have some fun with it.
There might be some that would say the opposite.
No.
Say, hey,
let's keep it.
Better not.
Yeah, this is AA baseball. It's professional baseball.
Yeah.
Even though it's AA, that's still professional baseball. So, but I know that they do a lot of fun stuff at those kind of games, single A, AA, AAA baseball. And that's why I kind of wanted to watch it too, to see if it was kind of scripted. It does look organic. It does look real. So
yeah,
it looks like that probably did happen that way.
Oh, I'm sure it happened that way. It's just, again, it poses a lot of questions. I look at it as something that's like, it is kind of funny. There's some humor in it.
Yeah.
But you know what? We're sports analysts. Sometimes you have to look at the deeper meaning in things.
Yeah.
And realize that there's a lot more going on there.
Yeah.
And I think you're right about that. There's a lot more going on there from both the PA side, from the fan experience, from the impact that it could have in the future.
Yeah.
There's a lot. It's interesting.
Yeah. Anyway, great story though, Caden. Good find.
Yeah, it was fun.
That's awesome. Also, too, let's stay on baseball.
Yeah.
Another story that I found on CBS Sports is Walker Buehler, Los Angeles Dodgers pitcher, on the injury list right now. But from what I'm hearing, he's starting to throw a little bit. Hopefully he gets back for a playoff run. By the way, the Dodgers won 9 straight. But Walker Buehler comes in with an interesting idea, and I want your take on this. First off, my take is I can't believe that they don't have this already. Okay. Walker Buehler says that MLB should create a new award. I know everybody gets a trophy. That's not what he's saying. But a new award for pitchers, for rookie pitchers. You have MVP, you have Rookie of the Year, AL Rookie of the Year, NL Rookie of the Year. You have the Cy Young. There's really no rookie pitcher award, like a rookie Cy Young. It's tough being a rookie. I don't care what position you're playing. And pitcher is just one of those tough. I mean, that's probably the toughest position other than catcher to play. I mean, you're touching the ball every single time, and really the game is dictated by you, the pitcher. Mm-hmm. So it'd be interesting. What's your take on that?
I think they absolutely should have an award
rookie
for that.
Cy Young award.
I don't see why not.
I'm a little surprised they don't have it.
I would maybe call it something else, like maybe give me a pitcher from baseball history who was out of the gates phenomenal as a rookie. Mm-hmm. I don't know who you would pick, but whoever it is that we decide to pick that was a phenomenal rookie pitcher, name it after them. Great, you have yourself a new award. I like it. I think that you should have that. I think there should be an American League and a National League Rookie Pitcher of the Year.
So here's the last 5 years of maybe who should have won that award. Okay, let's go American League first. Now, in American League, the AL Rookie of the Year was Shohei Ohtani.
Yeah.
Have you heard of him?
No.
He's pretty good. I understand he's pretty good.
Yeah, he's all right.
Shohei Ohtani was the AL Rookie of the Year. Now, the top AL rookie pitcher was Ryan Yarborough,
Okay.
who recently at the trade deadline, the Dodgers just picked up.
Yeah.
I was able.
He's one of the pitchers I know.
Yeah,
You know?
and he actually pitched last night in. I don't know if you know this, but the Dodgers have won 9 straight.
I do know that. You've said it a few times to me today. Yeah, I do know.
The baseball gods are going to pay me back tonight, and the Dodgers are going to lose.
They're going to get blown out.
But yeah, Ryan Yarborough was the top AL rookie pitcher that year.
Okay.
2019, we're staying in the American League right now. Yordan Alvarez was the AL Rookie of the Year playing for their Astros.
Yep.
The top AL rookie pitcher was John Means of the Baltimore Orioles.
Okay.
2020, Kyle Lewis of the Mariners was the AL Rookie of the Year. And the top AL rookie pitcher would have been Christian Javier of the Astros.
Okay.
AL Rookie of the Year in 2021, Randy Arozarena. Maybe you've heard of him.
I have.
With the Rays. Great player. And 2022, the guy that came into Seattle and just lit the place up, Julio Rodriguez, was the AL Rookie of the Year. Oh, I didn't do the the 2021 top AL rookie pitcher was Luis Garcia of the Astros. They had a couple of them back to back. And then in 2022 was George Kirby of the Mariners. Would have been the top AL rookie pitcher.
All right. I'm trying to look up some of these guys just to see kind of where they're at now. Just
Right.
To see, for example, I just pulled up George Kirby just because you just said his name.
Sure.
So his rookie season, let's see, he's kind of bounced around a little bit here with Seattle. But this season, he's at 10 wins and 8 losses, so he's sitting kind of close to 500. His ERA is 3.1. That's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So, in just his second year now, 2022 was his first year, and then this year now. He was drafted by the Mets back in 2016 and got his start with Seattle after being traded. I kind of like that idea. Even in Rookie of the Year voting, he was 6th, right?
Right.
But I like the idea of just putting him in there. He was an all-star this year, by the way. I don't know if you remember that. He was an all-star for Seattle, George Kirby, and I like it. Why is this not already an award?
Yeah, and
it doesn't make sense why it's not.
And here's the National League players. 2018, the NL Rookie of the Year was Ronald Acuna Jr. Maybe you've heard of him. Plays for the Atlanta Braves. And then the top NL rookie pitcher would have been Walker Buehler himself.
Of course, yeah.
Okay.
That makes sense.
He had a great rookie year. In 2019, Pete Alonso of the Mets was the NL Rookie of the Year. And Mike Soroka of the Braves was the top NL Rookie Pitcher of the Year. In 2020, Devin Williams of the Brewers was the NL Rookie of the Year. And it just has his last name, Williams. was the top NL Rookie Pitcher.
Man, that guy was awesome.
I guess it's the artist.
In what year was that?
In 2020. The artist formerly known as Williams. He just goes by Williams.
Yep, that's it.
Kind of like Prince and Madonna.
It's just Williams. Now, I will say there is a Devin Williams that is a pitcher for the Brewers.
That's who it would have been. So maybe that's why they're only doing Williams in the top NL rookie pitcher. Was the winner of that year was Devin Williams of the Brewers. So, okay,
yeah, so
that makes sense.
He won Rookie of the Year as a pitcher.
So, yes,
which
he
is
did.
rare. That's the other thing, too, is winning Rookie of the Year is fairly rare. So that's who it would have been, was just Devin Williams won it himself. Obviously, he was Rookie of the Year. If you're winning Rookie of the Year as a pitcher, you're probably also going to be winning the pitcher version of Rookie of the Year.
Yeah, for sure. In 2021, Jonathan India of the Reds was the NL Rookie of the Year. And the top NL rookie pitcher would have been Trevor Rogers of the Marlins. And he actually finished second in the NL Rookie of the Year voting. And then the last year's NL Rookie of the Year was Michael Harris II with the Braves. And the top NL rookie pitcher was Spencer Strider with the Braves, and he finished second as well in the NL Rookie of the Year award. So, anyways,
By the way, I like Spencer Strider.
yeah.
I don't know if you've seen him. He's a good pitcher, but he's got a sweet mustache.
Oh, he's got the stash, huh?
Yeah, well, at least he used to. I don't know if he still does, but I know that he has had the stash.
The stash is it's
I got to see if he still has the.
I'm not a big fan of the stash, but it seems to be making a comeback to my chagrin.
Here, I'll pull it up for you.
Oh yeah, that's a powerful stash.
That's a good stash right
there.
there.
That is. He looks like a highway patrolman.
Yeah.
No question about it.
I had to look it up. I'm like, I think he still has the stash.
That's
I don't know if
good.
he still does or not, but that was, at least that picture from us was somewhat recent. I have no idea.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
And
So anyways,
good
Walker
stash.
Buehler kind of throwing that out there, giving it a little bit of an attention. Across CBSSports.com, they picked up the story and ran with it as well. And you know what? I'm surprised that there's not an award for this already.
Yeah.
I'm a little, just because they have awards for everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially baseball.
I feel like there is an award for just about everything.
Yeah, I mean, especially baseball. They've got so many different awards, and I'm just a little surprised that this isn't out there already. So we'll see what if it comes to fruition here in the near future. Rookie Pitcher Awards.
Yeah. I like it.
I do too.
It's a simple award. Why not just do it? Right? Why not just do it? But
then if you do that, then you can separate the two as well, where
you can give the Rookie of the Year
to an everyday player.
A normal player.
To an everyday player.
Because it's pretty rare that a pitcher wins it anyway.
Right.
But you could have it be specifically for pitchers.
Yes.
Really,
because then they get recognized.
How many rookie pitchers are there in a season? There's quite a few.
There's quite a few.
Yeah. Now, there are also quite a few normal rookie position players.
Oh, sure.
Well, but I like the idea of let's just put them aside because they don't do the same thing.
See,
it's so hard to put pitching numbers against batting numbers. It's just so hard because it's two totally different things.
Because I agree with position players. You know, there was a time where there was a little bit, and I don't think that baseball's changed it. I still believe it's the same, where a pitcher, I don't think a pitcher should be able to win MVP. I just don't, because they have their award. They have the Cy Young Award.
Their Cy Young.
And so I just don't think that,
unless it's like a Shohei who's also hitting and he's hitting out of his mind, but
he's the exception to the rule.
He's your rare exception.
Yeah,
yes.
He's the exception to the rule. I'm just talking everyday position players, winning that. They're the ones that should be eligible for the MVP.
Yeah.
Pitchers should not. And here's why. Pitchers don't play every day. They play once every 5 days, on their rotation. So how can they be the most valuable player on the team? I'm not saying that pitcher, like a Roger Clemens or, Nolan Ryans and Sandy Koufax and Clayton Kershaw's and Justin Verlander's. I'm not saying that they're not valuable. Obviously, we know they are, but I don't think they should be the most valuable player because they have their Cy Young. Let's just take, for example, let's say a position player goes out there and let's just say he gets a couple of appearances, strikes out everybody he sees, has a 0 ERA. That position player shouldn't qualify for the Cy Young because he's not a pitcher.
You're right. I have a great analogy for
I don't know
you.
if that's a good example, but
imagine so Rudy Gobert won Defensive Player of the Year 3 times, right? Imagine Rudy Gobert, he only plays 1 out of every 3 games or something like that. Killer defensively, but on offense, he just doesn't really try. But then he wins the MVP.
Yeah.
Right?
You can't do it.
He's not playing every game. He's only playing one side of the ball. He's really good at what he does when he is out there on the court. His defense is amazing. That's like a pitcher. A pitcher's out there just playing defense. That's what their job is they're playing defense for 1 game out of a week.
Yeah, and I don't know if either one of our examples are like stellar examples.
It's not perfect, but it's the same. It's a similar
but they do.
idea.
They're very good analogies.
Similar idea.
Yeah, and again, you've got the MVP. Those should be for everyday players. Cy Young for pitchers. I've just always thought that. And so anyways, I'm in favor of this Rookie of the Year and Rookie Pitcher of the Year.
Me too. All right, let's take a break. We have the last part of our 4 o'clock hour coming up. And then don't forget, we have Jason Baum coming in the 5 o'clock hour. Fan, not a fan as well. So a lot left to go here on From the Bleachers. Stick around.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network, broadcasting out of the Findlay Hyundai studio. It is Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Not very energetic there on that one today.
You know,
a little soft.
Well, here's the problem that I've chosen to do today, I guess, if it was a choice, I guess. I've only had one Red Bull today. Normally, I'm 2 rock stars and a Red Bull in already.
2 rock stars and a Red Bull.
Or maybe one. I might be stretching it. Maybe just 2 rock stars.
Rock stores. Rock stores.
Maybe just 2 rock stars or a rock star and a Red Bull. But I'm a little behind on my caffeine intake, and I'm feeling it a little bit.
You know, I've been doing really good at not drinking soda. No, I never.
I have to have caffeine,
drinks.
dude.
They're just not my thing. Energy drinks are not my thing. And I got to tell you, it's really hard not to drink soda just because I'm so used to having, and any soda I do drink has caffeine in it. You know, I'm drinking a Coke or a Mountain Dew or something along those lines. I'm realizing that it's really hard to go without caffeine in my day when I always have caffeine in my day.
Have you tried my Orange Recovery Rockstar.
I don't want to.
You need to.
I don't want to.
They are so good.
I bet they're good.
There's no carbonated water.
Okay.
It's good for you. It has taurine. Taurine's good for the heart.
I don't know what that is.
It's taurine.
I'll take your word that it's good for you.
Good for the heart.
I don't know.
It doesn't have a ton of caffeine. I think it has maybe 180 milligrams. I mean, that's not a ton. You can have 400 milligrams. You can have two of those.
Should you have 400?
Of course you should. That's when your brain is working at its optimal level.
Is when it has 400.
Is when it has 400.
I think that's a big old.
Yeah.
No, I don't agree with that.
My friend Colleen here, she's probably yelling at the radio right now if she's listening. No, Mark, you stay off caffeine.
See, and I'm trying to cut out sugars, caffeine, all that kind of stuff. I'm trying to not do so much of that and just water. I'm just trying to drink water as our bodies were intended to
You
do.
are 29 years old.
I know. And you know what? I want to preserve what I currently have,
gosh.
which is decent.
Live a little, Caden.
Yeah, I will. I'll find other ways to live than by
oh my God, when I was 29, dude. So I'm working for the family business up on, Sunset Boulevard and running the mechanic shop, and there was right there in Phoenix Plaza, you had the Chevron. It used to be a Chevron station. I don't know what it is now, but anyway, convenience store right there.
Yeah.
Man, we were always going. Always. I mean, I probably had 2 32-ounce drinks a day, maybe even 3. I mean, I was just drinking soda all the time, just downing it when I was 29. And look how I turned out.
All the more reason to cut out soda.
Stop it. Stop it. Hey, before I pound you, let's go ahead and talk about MLB.
Oh, I'm dying.
MLB power rankings, man.
That's funny.
Right now, let's go top 10. Let's go top 10. We'll tell you. We'll tell you if they've moved up or moved down. Brewers, they move into the top 10 per the last power rankings, which was a day or so ago. They did lose to the Dodgers last night. Did you know the Dodgers have won 9 straight? But anyways, the Brewers
didn't know that yet.
Move into the top 10 in the power rankings. Phillies drop a spot down to number 9. The Mariners trending in the right direction. They have won 2 straight. The Blue Jays, they stayed even. They were 7 last power ranking, and they're coming in at 7 again. The Rays are trending in the wrong direction. They have dropped 3 spots to number 6. Astros even at 5. Rangers even at 4. Orioles down 1. And the Dodgers up 4 spots at number 2, but holding on to the number 1 spot are the Atlanta Braves.
Very good. As they should be. The Braves are on top. The Braves are good.
The Braves are good, but power rankings are kind of what you're doing currently, and the Braves have been playing some pretty good baseball.
Well, currently they are also the top of the MLB with 77 wins.
And you know what? The last 10, they've won 7 and 3. They've won 2 straight, so they're playing good baseball right now too. Again, like I had mentioned before, the Dodgers are 9 and 1. Their last 10, they've won 9 straight. They are the hottest team in baseball right now for sure. Not a question about it. Nobody even comes close to number 9. Except for the St. Louis Cardinals, they've won 3 straight. That's the closest win streak to the Dodgers right now. Dodgers playing some really good baseball, but like I said, the Braves.
Well, the Yankees have a 4-game losing streak.
Well, that's something to talk about. Yeah, dude,
Oakland's on a 5-game. Sorry, Oakland's actually worse.
Well, let's not talk about Oakland, but New York, I'll tell you what, they are just coming. The wheels are coming off.
They are. No, it's not good.
I can't remember who said it in the media last night, but after the loss last night, they said, stick a fork in the Yankees. They're done. They're not doing anything.
They're not. They're not good right now. Both the Yankees and the Angels really out of contention at this point. And, can they come back In theory, absolutely. Will they? No.
Well, when you're being here's the deal. You're done when teams or media members or fans are saying, well, mathematically, we're still in it.
And that's why I'm saying,
That's when you're
mathematically,
done.
are they still in it?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're done.
But they're done.
Yeah, they're done.
Yeah.
They're, my goodness, they're what, 4?
They're 6 games out.
Yeah, 6 games.
the wild
Yeah,
card.
6.5 games out. Yeah, LA Angels. I almost corrected myself when I said LA Angels, and that's correct.
No, that's the right way to do it.
I wanted to correct myself and say California Angels.
The Los Angeles Angels
of Anaheim. Yeah, they're 8 games back, so they're done as well. Boston still trying to claw their
Boston's
way.
close enough.
They are.
Yeah.
And you know what? Their last 10, they're 6-4, but Seattle
Seattle's making a fight.
They are. They're trending in the right direction. They're 7-3 their last 10. They won last night, so
all right. Well, we got to head to a break. We'll be back. 5 o'clock hour coming up.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Corns for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back, everybody. It is from the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. 5 o'clock here in the Findlay Hyundai studio. Caden Formaster here, and Mark Musgrave.
The voice, you know.
Ooh, that was your returns over here are impressive. You know, coming back on the
The
microphone.
only ones that would know are the people watching us on YouTube.
Yeah, you're putting on a show for the YouTube viewers.
I'm telling you, if you have the opportunity to watch us on YouTube, do so.
Yes.
Follow us, subscribe to us.
It's possible you're missing out on some content.
You are
'Cause there's
missing
stuff-
out on stuff.
Even just the facial expressions that you and I give sometimes. Yesterday we had one where on YouTube the flooding alarm did not go through to YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And we're just sitting here having a normal conversation, then all of a sudden both of us just boom, we're like, whoa.
Yeah.
And we just cut to a break. And on YouTube, everyone's like, what?
It was
what
so
just happened?
loud in our headphones.
Oh, it was bad.
Yeah.
It was bad. By the way, I got rained on a ton yesterday.
Oh,
on
did you?
On my drive home.
Really?
Yeah. So there definitely was a lot of rain.
Yeah.
A lot of rain.
Interesting. I'm glad it was volleyball last night and not football because I'm sure there would have been lightning delays, probably more than one.
It would have been really bad.
Yeah.
It would have been really bad to have football. So, but you know what? We're back at it. Hey, speaking of football, I have something football related to talk about, something that I saw on Facebook today.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a group called the Native American Guardians Association.
Okay.
They are demanding Washington to return to the Redskins name.
Really?
Yep. This is a group that they've organized a petition that already has over 90,000 signatures. That's really all the information I have.
And these are the Native Americans.
That is a group that is headed by Native Americans. Now, I will say, play devil's advocate a little bit here. I do know there are groups of Native Americans that also heavily oppose the Redskins name. So I'm just saying, if you know someone that is for it or against it, it's very possible that you know someone for it. You could know someone that's against it. So I don't think everyone falls into the same group. That's what I'm saying.
What if there was a group
divisive.
what if there was a group of commanders that would be offended
if
that
they
the
got rid of
Washington
it,
command, that
that
they
they're
have
using it.
that they're using it.
I don't know.
I mean, that
It's
don't make me
such-
go down that road.
I'm just saying it's tough.
I know.
I just wanted to give you that report because that is something
I'm
that's
not
coming out
Native
recently.
American, but I will, and I'll say that, growing up, I never affiliated the word Redskin as a derogatory term, but I'm not Native American. But I never brought that in.
Yeah.
Like, it just never entered my mind. I mean, I can see it for sure. I mean, I can see that
But
that's
if-
kind
you
of
know,
a
if-
derogatory term.
And let's say one of your friends that is Native American came up to you and was like, "Dude, I hate that." name."
yeah,
Like
I get it.
Then I would be like, "Yeah, of course." Okay, well then let's not say it. Let's not
I
use
just
it.
never thought of it as a derogatory term until
that's why-
all this came
Yeah.
to light. I'm like, real Reds? I'm like, oh,
And
I
that's
can
why,
see that.
And
But
that's why for me, I have always been under the opinion that, look, it doesn't affect me on a personal basis because that's not me. That's not my culture. Ask the people that it does affect. If
Yeah.
they don't want it, then don't use it. If they don't mind it, then okay. If it's divisive,
but are you to the? Are
and I
you?
think it is divisive. That's the problem.
I'm going to ask you a tough question here.
Okay.
If it only offends 1% of the people, do we change it? Is it a majority thing? Or
I mean, I would tend to lean towards go with what the majority says.
yeah,
But it would have to be a heavy majority. I'm not saying it's like 51%.
yeah,
You know?
yeah.
I don't know what that cutoff
I know,
is
I know.
personally. I'm not saying that.
No, I'm with you.
I'm not saying 99% is okay, but 98.
Right,
I don't know what
right.
that line is, but yes, in the long run, I do think that if the majority of people that are polled in some way, and it needs to be a well thought out poll, say yeah we're cool with it, or say no, then okay, you have your decision.
Well,
made.
I don't think Redskins is coming back,
I don't think so either.
even with this petition of 90,000 people
And
already
they do want
signing
to change
it.
the name from Commanders to something else already with the new ownership. They're already considering changing it again. I think that being in
Could-
Washington, there's still an option in there, whether it be military based or
Why,
government
I wonder
based.
why.
I don't know, but
I wonder why Washington, why they the outs on when they started the franchise. I wonder why they went with Redskins.
Well, it was a team that moved. First off,
It
they
was?
didn't originate there.
Oh, okay.
And I want to say they originated in Boston. I could be wrong. I don't remember the history. But they did not originate in Washington.
Okay. All right.
But I want to say
that.
I want to say it was Boston. I could be wrong. But anyway,
Which would make sense because the Atlanta Braves were the Boston Braves before that. So there obviously is a Native American heritage up in the Boston area.
They were founded in 1932 as the Boston Braves.
Okay.
For
football.
For football.
Okay.
So I was correct at least about it being Boston.
Yeah.
They did move to Washington, D.C., and then they actually changed the name. Let's see. Okay, so they were founded in 1932 as the Boston Braves. A year later, they changed the name to Redskins, and then
Really?
and then 4 years later, they moved to D.C. So they moved to D.C. with that name. Yes.
Interesting. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's not coming back.
No.
As much as a lot of Washington fans would like it. I mean, I know some Washington fans, they'd love for the name to come back, but it's not coming back. And, a lot of places, even our own Southern Utah here, are dealing with name changes that offend, if I can use that word, offend, that offend people.
Yeah.
And I mean, Dixie is one of those words. And is Dixie coming back to the college?
It's not coming back to the college.
It's not. It's not
but
coming
you know what?
back.
The community has its own term for it. They've embraced it in its own way.
Right.
And that's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Which I'm happy with. So
anyways.
By the way, I would say an acceptable name. I love the Red Hogs, man. Go with the Hogs. I think that's a better name than Commanders, just because it fits their culture of what they've established for their football team.
Yeah, but fat people aren't going to like that.
Oh, fat people are going to love it. Are you kidding me? They're going to
be
like...
Red Hogs?
Dude, that's a good name. It's a good name. I like it. I like it. I'm down for the Hogs. Dude, that's what they already call. They've been calling the fan base that for years.
I know. They've been calling them the Hogs for a long time.
So I'm just saying, just continue. You already have it. They
have.
Yeah. Anyway, let's get to... We'll get away from some divisive stuff. Well, maybe, because it's time for Fan Not a Fan.
Oh, yes. Fan Not a Fan.
We really are going to be diving into opinions here all over again. So let's get to it. Fan Not a Fan, Mark. Today's Fan Not a Fan, it's going to be a little different than we've done before. I'm going to give you a list right now of top 10 quarterbacks based off of an article that I found on pff.com.
Okay.
These are their top 10 quarterbacks. Fan Not a Fan. We've talked a little Hall of Fame today.
Yes, we have.
That was MLB Hall of Fame. We'll talk a little NFL Hall of Fame. I'm going to give you a quarterback that's currently playing.
Okay.
And with the trajectory that they're on, you got to tell me, do you feel like this person will end up being a Hall of Fame quarterback? Fan, not a fan of those.
I love this. I'm a fan of this right here.
All right, let's do it. So, fan, not a fan. Is Patrick Mahomes going to end up in the Hall of Fame?
Oh, of course.
I feel like that's a given. We'll go with the givens first.
He is going to be arguably the GOAT at some point. Not yet, but at some point he will enter that conversation if he continues down the path that he's on right now.
I agree. Let's go to number 2 on this list, Josh Allen. That's tough.
Yeah, I do, though. I really think that he will be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done.
Do you think a Super Bowl needs to happen first, or an MVP, or anything like that?
No, I don't consider Hall of Fame worthiness on championship rings. Doesn't hurt, don't get me wrong. But I don't think that's a must especially when it comes to a team sport like football. Sure. There's probably no other sport that you depend on other people to do their job before you can do your job than football. I don't think basketball is as much of a team sport as football. Baseball is not as much as a team sport as football. I think football has so many moving parts, and everybody has to do their job.
Yeah,
there's 22 players on the field at the same time. 11 on your side, 11 on the other side.
Yeah.
And so I don't consider championships to come into play when it comes to Hall of Fame.
Fair enough. Fair enough. All right. Let's go to number 3, Joe Burrow.
Yes, I do think that Joe Burrow will be a Hall of Fame candidate when his time comes. Right now, a top 2 or 3 quarterback. He's on a great Bengals team that is just perfect for him to operate. He's got some good talent around him. I definitely think he doesn't do a drop-off anytime soon. I think he's going to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league for another 8 years or so.
I agree. All right, I like it. Let's go to Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert, Hall of Famer, no.
Give me a reasoning.
I don't think so because success.
He's missed the playoffs a lot.
He has missed the playoffs, and as I said before, and I'm not going to contradict myself.
Yeah.
I don't think Super Bowls is a box that needs to be checked for Hall of Fame status, but I do think that a certain level of success does. And Justin
a
Herbert,
good quarterback will win you games, which should put you in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So I think getting to the playoffs is an indicator of success.
And
You don't
let
have
me
to go through and win those playoffs.
and let me say this: he is right now, the way his career is going, he is just on the outside looking in. And again, my criteria for Hall of Fameness might be a little bit more strict than other people.
Sure.
So take that for what it is. But as of right now, I just think he's just on the outside looking in.
Okay. Number 5, Aaron Rodgers. Fan, not a fan. He makes the Hall of Fame.
Absolutely, I'm a fan of Aaron Rodgers
Yeah.
making the Hall of Fame.
He could have retired last year, and he's still in the Hall
absolutely,
of Fame, right?
yeah. And this, whether going to the Jets hurts his legacy or not, it doesn't matter. He is still going to be a lock for the Hall of Fame. It's so funny. Just the way that his career has followed his predecessor in Brett Favre. Other than Brett Favre, he went to the Vikings as well.
Yeah.
But
he played with the Jets.
he
for half
also
a
went to
second.
the Jets too for a hot minute. So I don't see this being a detriment to his career. He's had a great Hall of Fame career already. Absolutely,
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Number 6, someone who's already been an MVP, Lamar Jackson.
This one's tough for me.
It is for me too, because he's taken a dive since that MVP year.
He has dropped a little bit. He has also reinvented he is the prototypical new NFL quarterback.
Yeah, he's your go-to
With
mobile quarterback.
Mobility, and he can throw. He's been banged up a little bit. Again, that goes to, using his legs as much as he does. He's going to get hit. He's going to get tackled. He's going to get thrown out of bounds. Oh, this is a tough one. Right now, he does have an MVP. Lamar Jackson, Hall of Famer. Does that ring a bell? Not yet.
Not yet.
Not
Okay.
yet. He has to.
He's got to bounce back a little bit.
Because really, he's only had maybe 3 or 4 years of exceptional play, so he needs more than that.
He's got to have some bounce back seasons where he's not injured.
But we're trying to project, though. We're trying to project if his career stays the same or how his career is going right now. Right now, his needle is kind of pointing downward.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm going to say no.
Okay. I
Now
like
that
that.
I've-
I'm on board.
Now that I've talked myself into that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. Number 7, Jalen Hurts.
Jalen Hurts, again, we're going to go off of his needle is pointing upwards. He's trending in the right direction. If he continues to trend and do what he's done over the past year and a half,
Yeah.
that's
past couple of seasons for sure.
Okay, we'll give him 2 years. First year was okay. Second year, phenomenal. I mean, if it continues
If
to,
year 3 is the same as year 2, then it
Yeah,
should be an easy
then it should
yes,
be.
right?
yeah, if he continues to do what he's doing, what he did last year for the next 8 to 9 years, absolutely, I'm a fan of Jalen Hurts getting into the Football Hall of Fame.
Okay, number 8 is Trevor Lawrence with the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Boy, it's difficult when they've only been out a year
Some
or
of these
two.
young quarterbacks is really tough. Yeah.
With Trevor Lawrence though, I'm going to say that I'm a fan of him trending to Canton, Ohio. I really am.
Okay.
He's got the accuracy. I'm trending that way.
Okay.
Yes.
What about number 9 is Kirk Cousins?
No, not a fan.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of him making it to Canton, Ohio, to the Hall of Fame. No,
Not at all.
no.
Yeah. I agree.
You like that?
No, I do like that. Good quote. That's honestly one of my favorite quotes.
Although I need to start watching
like
Quarterback on Netflix.
It's good.
I know.
it's
I've
good.
heard.
Quarterback's good.
I've heard good things. So Macy and I are gonna have to start watching that for sure.
All right, let's get to number 10, Dak Prescott.
No. No, Dak Prescott is not going to be a Hall of Famer. To me, he's a mediocre quarterback. I think with him being ranked number 10 is too high. I think he's around the 15, 16 quarterback. I'd like to know who 11 through 15 are, so I could tell you that they're all better than Dak Prescott.
I could tell you exactly who they are, but we won't get to it because that was our top 10. And that was
Okay,
a fun list. That was a fun
let's
list.
extend it for just 1 minute.
Okay.
Tell me who number 11 is, and I'll tell you if I'm a fan or not a fan of them being just better than
Better
Dak
than
Prescott.
Okay, I'm going to go through this list real quick,
Okay.
and you tell me better
Okay.
or worse than Dak Prescott. Okay, Tua.
Not a fan.
Not a fan. Not a
Yet,
fan as in
yet.
He's not better than Dak.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford.
I'm a fan.
Okay. Deshaun Watson.
Not a fan.
Derek Carr.
God, they're about equals, man.
Gino.
No, not a fan.
Again, these are getting really far down the list, so at this point, I think he's better than pretty much
Okay.
any.
So
You're
maybe he falls
you're getting
in-
to your Mac Jones and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
and that kind of
So
stuff.
maybe he falls in right there around that 13 area.
Yeah, you put him in at 12, 13.
So
That's not too bad. Not too bad. All right, there you have it. Fan, not a fan here on the Fan Sports Network. We're going to take a break and return with more here on From the Bleachers. Stick around.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show From the Bleachers live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine. Not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Keaton Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
We also have Jason Baum in studio with us to talk about our Bomb Sports moment today. Jason, welcome back into the show as always.
Oh, thank you for having me. I'm excited.
I know we're excited to have you here and talk about sports as we always do. But of course, like we say, sports moments, we kind of dive back into some history a little bit, and that'll be fun. We'll see what you got for us today. So.
Yeah, I mean, I did some homework. Mark just accused me of killing a forest to bring in my forest. Yes. Yeah, that's a Mark exaggeration right there.
He had to clip it on a clipboard. He couldn't bring it in.
I bring a clipboard in every week.
Oh, okay.
Listen to
it's
Mark.
true. He does. He does bring in a clipboard every single week. So you are correct about that. So.
I do my prep.
That's right.
Quit kissing his butt, Caden.
I'm just giving him the benefit of the doubt, Mark. Come on.
Mark knows there's an argument coming my way. Him and I are going to debate something.
I bet. There's always an argument in here.
I mean, he already threw out some. I do absolutely 1,000% agree with the Dak Prescott call, but there's going to be some. I've been listening as I've been driving over, and there's a few.
We
things.
always have opinions here.
Now, what about the Yankees? Are they out of the playoffs?
Man, I hate to say it, but they're just not playing. I mean, they're just not winning.
Mathematically, they're still in it, though.
I know, but
that doesn't mean anything. We were talking about that too. Just because it's mathematically possible doesn't mean
here's the thing.
Happen.
Mathematically, I'm my ideal weight. I just have to be like 8 feet tall.
True.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, you should be taller. Why don't you grow?
11, 12 feet tall. I'm perfect. I'm mathematically, I'm my ideal weight.
Are you done growing?
Yeah, baby.
Yeah. I might get another 1 or 2 inches this year. I don't know. We'll see.
The greatest thing about being a parent, though, I can tell you right now, is I have 4 boys. Every one of them, their goal in life was to be taller than me.
Yeah.
Not one of them's going to make it.
Oh, man.
And they are all bummed.
How tall are you?
6'1".
Okay. See, yeah, I'm the only person in my family that's taller than my dad.
Wow.
The only one. I'm the tallest in my family, and I'm the only one taller than my dad. And he's 6. He's 6 feet, and I'm right at 6'1". So
Cam's better looking, though.
Don't tell him that.
I'm just kidding.
I
just wanted a reaction.
That'll go to his head.
I didn't get the reaction I wanted. Dang it.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's you got to have goals in life, and being taller isn't one that you can control.
Not a lot of control on that one. Not a lot of control. Well, before we get into that, let's talk market for a little bit. Of course, over there with Bay Equity Home Loans, I know you always have your finger on everything going on over there. So tell us what's going on.
It is just it's such a weird market right now. I mean, that's the only word for it is weird. We had the notes and everything, and all the information said that rates should have gone down last week. They've gone up. And so, if you want to be an expert in the mortgage industry right now, you just have to be self-proclaimed expert because nobody really knows what's going on. And that goes with Fannie and Freddie. We talked about this, I think, last time, is that Fannie and Freddie both put out projections for the next year. Mm-hmm. And Fannie says rates are going to go up, and Freddie says they're going down.
Wow.
And these are two companies that basically wear the same hat. I mean,
Right, yeah.
I mean, they work for the same agencies. They have the same information. So the reality is we don't know, but I will maintain this, that the number one thing I'm hearing is from especially my first-time home buyers is that we can't buy a home. And of the 10 people who tell me that, when I get into their numbers, there's usually only one that is right. Most of your first-time home buyers have no idea whether or not they qualify. They do not understand the math. They don't understand the details. So it's really like anything else in life. Get educated. Even if you think you're not ready, call me up. Let's get some education behind you. And I get people, they say, well, I know I can't because of my credit. Well, but how do you know that? I mean, credit is one of those things. I tell people it's like nailing Jell-O to a wall. It's almost impossible to really understand your credit. So you've got to be able to, kind of dive in and have somebody walk you through that, understand a little bit more what makes up your credit, how to fix it. And I'll just give you an easy example of that. I had a client I talked to this week said, I'm helping my kids build their credit. We're going to go help them buy a car. And I says, well, that's not going to help them build their credit. And I'm like, the very blunt reality is this, is that you can build more credit with a $500 credit card than you can with a $15,000 car. And because of the type of loan that it is and the way that they judge that loan over time. And the credit card, you could have a credit card. I've got a current credit card that me and my wife have had that we've had for 36 years. Do we use it? Not really, but we keep the line open because it's 36 years of history. Yeah. So those are the type of things you need to know. Get educated on. Come and talk to me and let me get into the details of that information with you.
And he can talk to you just go to baumloans.com, BAUMLOANS.com, baumloans.com.
See, Mark's been there. He knows.
I have been.
Knows.
Now let's talk sports.
Let's talk sports.
We're
a sports talk station.
Yeah, so let's talk sports.
Let's get into it. So usually we take like a singular moment and we kind of focus on that. And say, okay, this is, let's get some interesting history on that moment. But with the kickoff of high school sports this week, and particularly high school football, I wanted to dive into and see how much you guys know or don't know about the state of Utah, who holds, what, and just kind of have some fun with the numbers here. I've got basically, as Mark said, everything in the, I think it's 116-year history of Utah high school sports. Including, it goes back to, there's one in here I read that is still in the record books, BY High.
BY High.
My dad went to BY High. So,
really?
Yes. Yep.
Wow.
Yep, BY High. So anyway, downtown Provo, yeah.
Is that Timpview now?
No, well, it's BY High is that old building right down in downtown Provo.
It's probably, I'm sure Provo High School is what the boundaries are.
Yeah.
We're talking boundaries.
Yep. So, all right. So we're going to have some fun here. I'm going to throw out, where Dixie landed in this particular category. And then we'll see if you guys can tell me who actually has the most in that, or, what you think the number is that is the top in that level.
Okay.
All right. So state championships, consecutive, winning it back-to-back years.
Okay.
Dixie did it back in 1972 to 1974.
Okay.
So, Mark, you would have been, what, 12, 10?
When?
8?
No, he was like 3.
72? So
I was
you
2.
3.
I was 2.
2 years old. All right. So, back in 72 to 74, they won it 3 years in a row. You get a bonus point if you can tell me who the coach was.
Oh, my goodness. I will just go, I'll just go Walt Brooks.
You get a bonus point.
Okay.
Nice
Walt Brooks Stadium.
I mean, that would make sense.
There you go. All right. Who has the most state championships consecutively
in the state?
Yep. Which school? And what second question is how many?
Let's go.
I'm gonna go.
I'll let you go first. I have no idea. I'm literally just gonna throw out a random school.
I'm gonna go West.
That is correct.
I was gonna say West.
How many? How many in a row?
I'm gonna say
5,
6, 7, 8. I'm gonna go 8.
Mark is correct again.
Oh my gosh,
You
Mark!
are
You also
rolling,
have
Mark.
it pulled up in front of you, don't you? You little turd.
Are you cheating, Mark?
Hey, Mark, needs
Hey,
to
if
close
you
his
ain't
computer.
cheating, you ain't trying.
Close this computer for me, Jason. Come on.
Man. That is so bad. All right,
Hey,
let's
but
go.
I did not cheat on the Walt Brooks
All right.
question.
Yeah.
On
Well,
one,
guess
one
what?
of the three.
Guess who
Yeah, I'm
doesn't?
one of the 3.
Guess who doesn't have anything pulled up on their computer and is looking at you guys?
All right.
Me.
So there are a bunch of people who had 99-yard fumble recoveries. Luke Carter from Dixie did it back in 2004. Let's find a good one here. There are only 2 people who have had 5 interceptions in a game. One of them is from a Southern Utah school. Since you probably don't know the name because it was 1967. Well, let's go with, can you guess which school it was?
A Southern Utah school. So
Yes.
you're not saying it was necessarily Dixie.
It was in 1967.
So 1967, there would have been 3 Southern Utah schools.
No,
There would have been Dixie, Cedar, and Hurricane.
Enterprise was around.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it
As
was.
a high school,
In the 60s?
they came down. They bust them down to Dixie.
Dude, Enterprise has been a high school since 1910.
They haven't had.
It wasn't a high school. It was a
Anyway.
school. Everybody in town went there.
Anyway, I'm going to say Hurricane.
I'm gonna go Hurricane as well.
You are both correct. You are both correct.
I just like to argue, man. It's
Me too.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's what makes it fun. All right. So in 1981, Lance Gubler had 23 interceptions for the season.
By the way, I know Lance Gubler.
There you go.
Yeah.
See, you
You do,
thought
really?
you wouldn't know anybody.
It's my aunt's brother.
Your aunt's brother's cousin, sister's
There you
No,
go.
friend's
just aunt's
brother.
brother.
He
just
played
Ant's
for
brother.
Hurricane. He had 23.
Just aunt's brother.
How many do you think the leader, the number one, he was number 2. How many do you think the leader had?
Oh, man.
And we're talking what now?
Interceptions for a season.
For a season?
Yep.
And how many did he have, you said?
23.
Okay. Let's go 31. That's a lot.
God, for a season.
Could you imagine? I'm just going high. Why not? Let's have fun with it.
I'm gonna say that he was just off maybe one, like 24. I'm gonna go 24.
It was 26.
26.
Okay, 26. Split the
Antonio
Dude.
Masachi from Monticello.
Dude, that is
That's a lot.
a ton of
26 interceptions.
that is horrible quarterback play up in that area at that time.
1A football, baby. Yeah.
My
But
God.
here's the thing.
I didn't even think they threw it that much back then.
Lance Gubler in 1980 to 1982 for his career, he actually had the most. He is the number one from Hurricane, had 34 interceptions in his career in his 3 years at school. So
That's
shout out
that
Fernando,
is impressive.
that's
Shout out
Fernando
Lance Gubler.
Valenzuela's number that they just retired.
There you go. So let's see. Return for TDs. There was 3. Lincoln Esplin from Hurricane in 1992. We'll move on. All right. So let's go with let's see. Let me find a fun one here. All right. So this is a good one. So back in Matt Black in 2003 from Pineview had 24 sacks
Ooh.
in the season.
Wow.
How many does the leader, the state, number one dude in the state, how many did he have?
28.
Sacks.
Sacks. Individual. Well,
I'm
these
going to
are
say
sacks.
28.
Total sacks.
I'm going to go over 28. Can I just say over?
Sure.
Do I win?
Yes, 34.
Yes.
Well, that's stupid. How come we get the new rules now? You guys are just like trying to get me to lose. This is,
All right.
It's the old guys versus the young
stupid.
guy.
Hey, you guys making up rules so you can win.
Yes, it is. All right. So
This is ridiculous.
field goals. We have 2 individuals from Southern Utah that are on the most made field goals in a game. Ethan Bear is the number one guy at with 5 in a game for Pineview back in 2014. But there is a Crimson Cliffs kicker who is on that list. And I know you called his name, Mark, so can you name that Crimson Cliffs kicker that is on there with 4 field goals in a single game?
Ryan Woolley.
Bam, dude, you called that name. You
Boom.
knew that?
You say you have to know who he is, right?
Yeah, I knew
That's
Mark.
before my time here, but yeah.
Yep. So
You know,
all right.
you don't memorize a lot of kickers' names, but
But when they kick 4 of them in
Yeah.
a game, you
Yeah.
Yep.
you got to get used to that.
In a career, Connor Brooksby from Pineview had 33 field goals in his career, which puts him in second place. How many kicks do you think the first place holder has?
yes, 33.
He has 33.
And he's in second place?
He's in second place. So the number one guy has more than 33, Mark.
Oh, over.
Over 33.
That's how we play the game, right? Yeah, it's over 33.
I'm going to say 36.
I win points. Good job, me.
36 is correct.
Mark
36.
also has a list
Skylar
on his
Southam
computer.
from
So.
Wasatch High. All right. So
I'm only using it if I have to.
Hey, well,
There
guess
is-
what? The point is to not look at it at all
If I
and
have
to
to.
guess.
You like that one, didn't you?
Oh,
I do.
jeez. This
I
guy.
do. Hey,
Why am I even on
hey,
this show today?
what-
Jeez.
with age comes wisdom, Mark.
That's exactly right. I knew where to go to
No,
find
with-
these. That's
with
the
age
smart way.
comes
All right,
cheating,
field
apparently.
goals. There is a Southern Utah school that has the state record and let's see, the third place record for the longest field goal in the state. Do you know which school? And you probably don't know the kid. His name is Corey Lewis.
Corey was out at Diamond Ranch.
That is correct. Diamond Ranch. He kicked a
You
62
didn't know
yarder.
that. You didn't know that.
He kicked a
Oh,
62
Corey. Yeah, me and
yards.
him go way back. Yeah, we used to go
I
grab
had-
hot dogs from the Maverick on Thursdays.
I actually went out and watched him kick because I'd heard that they had
Really?
a kicker.
Yeah.
I heard they'd had a kicker that was kicking 65 yarders.
Dude, 62 is legit.
And so I went
that
out
is
and watched
tough.
him, and he was, when we were there, he was kicking 70, 75 yarders.
Has he done anything post high
No.
school?
No,
With a leg like that,
he,
man.
He actually had all kinds of offers and had no desire. Just
Oh,
didn't want to.
well, don't
wasn't
get me
his,
going on
wasn't
that.
his life path.
Don't
So-
get me going on that, Bob.
So anyway, yep. But we went out there one day because it was 2015. We just, my kids were in the heyday of
Right,
playing, and
right.
we'd heard the rumor. I knew the guy who ran the school out there. He's like, dude, you got to come out and see him. I mean,
Yeah.
they sound like gunshots when they hit his foot.
That's crazy.
And
That's awesome.
They did. I mean, and when he was kicking the 70 yarders, it wasn't like he was just standing out there kicking them. They were actually doing gameplay things, and he was just pounding them.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
It was crazy. All right, so let's go on. Let's see. Let's try to find something good for. We got a bunch of kicking one, extra points, all kinds of things in there. We'll skip through those. Those aren't fun. Kickoff returns. There is well, this isn't. We got Joe West from Cedar High in 2004. He returned 4 kickoff returns in a single season. Any guesses what the number one person did?
6.
So close.
7.
Yes.
What's the point of this, Mark? If you're looking at the same,
That's
number?
what I'm
don't
saying.
know.
There's no point when Mark looks
We
at the
might as well
list.
just be talking to Caden.
Why are we even doing this? We're trying to play a game here, and Mark's not even playing a game because he's looking at the list. That would be like playing Jeopardy and having the list, and you'd be like, let's see, what is, oh my gosh.
Photosynthesis.
Yeah, wow, that's right again.
And then having your competitor close.
And
Not
close,
quite.
actually, it's the answer is what is mitochondria?
Oh, my goodness.
Playing against Alex Trebek.
Yeah,
Oh my
right.
gosh. And they realize you have the
Oh,
list in front of
man.
you. There's no point.
All right, you guys have to remember this. But well, maybe you don't. 2014.
Okay, I'm not looking. I'm not looking.
Punt returns. This is the highest average return for in 2014. Desert Hills has got the number 3 player. If you can guess who that was, 2014. Our kids were playing.
I'm gonna go
His
Nephi
dad,
Sewell.
his dad coached. No, it's not Nephi. It's Bridger Cowden.
Bridge. Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
Remember the Cowdens?
Yep. So kickoff return. Cody Fonsbeck back in 1998 had he averaged for the season 47 yards.
That's a lot.
Dude, that's a lot
On
of
kickoff
offense.
returns? Wow.
Yeah, man, you
Dude,
do
like-
not
like-
want to punt to him.
Like 25-30 would be awesome, you know?
Yeah, it is definitely impressive. All right, so we've got a kid here that I know you guys should know because we're getting into individual passing.
Okay.
Okay.
Cody Wilstad from Pineview in
Yeah.
2013. He had 470 attempts for that season. What is the number one spot? How many attempts were made by the number one guy?
Wow. Attempts, though.
And Pineview, God, they were a passing team too. So 472 is quite impressive. I'm just going to go high fives. I'm going to go 580.
Okay. Caden, you want to guess this time? Or
Under.
Okay, you got it, Caden. It is 562. Okay.
Beat you at your own game.
Cody had, he did also make the attempts in his career list with 1,103. Who can you name the top player there? Or top, what you think the number of attempted passes in a career?
In a career.
I think his first name was Austin, if I remember right. Just going off of memory.
Look at Mark. This is
Austin.
Coffin.
Let me think. What was the last?
It was a
name?
weird last. It was kind of
man.
a strange. It was a hard name to say, like Coffin, it's or something like that.
Oh boy, Mark.
I remember.
Oh, Mark, your cheating isn't even good anymore. Austin Kafensis, who we
Played at Jordan.
Yes, he did. He was
The
very
Beat
good.
Diggers.
I remember watching him play. He was
What did you just say?
The Beat Diggers.
Oh,
he was very, very good.
You heard something very wrong.
I'm going
Wow.
to keep talking.
Yeah.
I'm just going to keep talking before that one turns into something else. All right. McLeod Croughton from Pineview had for passing yards, he threw for 4,230. There is another Pineview quarterback on that list. Who is it, Mark?
for what?
Passing yards for a season. McLeod Croughton passed for 4,320
Well,
yards.
I would have to go with the aforementioned Cody Wilstead.
That would be absolutely correct. So what is, let's go with let's see.
So dumb.
I didn't even cheat on that one.
Sure you
right.
did.
I was just
Cody and McLeod both share the passing per game season average, 365. McLeod had 360. Can you name how many do you think? Well, 370 is Alex Hart. Since Mark's looking at the answers, we'll just try to find some fun statistic here. Let's see. McLeod's all over this thing. So is actually, how about this? There is a current quarterback. This is touchdowns in a single game. There is a current Southern Utah quarterback that is on this list. Do you know who it is?
Is it
a current one?
Yes.
for touchdowns in a game? Is Steele Barban on that list?
Still Barban is on that list.
right.
He had 7 touchdowns against Hurricane. Such 10
Okay.
passes.
Oh yeah.
So, and let's see. Let's go to receiving, since we have some local names that we know is on that list. Well, I'll just say that. Let's go with Dylan Reimer back for Pineview back in 2019, so just a few years ago. He had 5 touchdowns in a single game receiving against Ridgeline. He's actually tied with everybody else on that list. So I was going to say who had the most, but everybody's got 5. So Puka Nakua's name is all over there. Can you name which team is currently playing, where Puka is currently playing?
The
Where
Rams.
he's currently.
Yes.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Rams.
He even had a catch in the touchdown
he
catch.
got
Yeah.
a touchdown
Yeah.
from Stetson Bennett.
Yeah.
Stetson.
Yeah, there you go.
Hey, there was some good stuff about Stetson.
Yeah.
Like he played well.
He played really
also.
well. He played really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
All right. Any more?
There's
Couple-
average.
Give me one more, and then we'll go to a break.
We'll go fun. We'll go something. Let's go total rushing touchdowns
Ooh, in a season?
in a season. Jace Entz from Pineview had 31, and Brian Scott from Hurricane had 31 in 2011. How many do you think the leader of that category had?
I'll let you go, Caden, because I already know the answer.
Of course you do. At least you're being honest about it now at the end of the game.
You know, that's
I'm gonna go with 42.
It would be 38.
Oh, I was gonna say 38,
Alan
and I thought it'd be more.
Mortensen from
I should have just went
Grantsville
with
High
it.
School. And Austin Confensis is on there for the most TDs, which he was a quarterback. So in fact, he's leading the rushing.
yeah, no kidding.
Wow.
He was all over the place. So
All right.
anyway, there's only half the forest that we got through.
Well,
But
there you go.
this is all on the Utah High School Athletic Association. It is pretty fascinating. There's a lot of really crazy, statistics in there. Some of them like I said, when you get into local high schools, obviously we know Walt Brooks is in there, but I'm willing to bet you guys know somebody else's name that's in there quite often.
Yeah, for sure. No question about it.
Come on, who's high school coach? Name him, Mark.
Blaine Monkers.
There you go. He's all over the place.
I bet he is. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yep,
that
Blaine's right up there, and Blaine probably should have his name. It should be Monkers Walters Stadium.
Whoa. Shots fired at the Brooks family.
Whoa, there we go.
Yeah, well, whatever you want to call it. Shots fired or just praise given.
There you go.
I don't know. So let's take a break. We're going to be wrapping up the show, and we come back here on From the Bleachers.
Hey, it's Caden Formaster.
And Mark Musgrave, the voice you know with the Fan Sports Network.
Check out our local sports radio show, From the Bleachers, live every weekday from 4 to 6 p.m.
Listen to us on the radio on 99.5 or 95.3 FM.
You can also listen through the Fan Sports Network app or watch the show live on the Fan Sports Network YouTube page.
The Fan Sports Network is your home of Utah Tech Trailblazers, high school sports, and the pros.
The Fan Sports Network, Southern Utah's home for local sports.
Did you know that St. George News has a new app? Download the St. George News app today and stay up to date on everything happening in Southern Utah. Get instant notifications on news, weather, sports, and more. Download the app today and get your local news now.
Media is everywhere. It's a part of our daily life, our routine, not just for entertainment, but to stay informed. Local media has the biggest impact on your daily life. It's what's around you, what matters. And at Canyon Media, our goal is to deliver the very best in local entertainment, news, and media. From our award-winning radio stations like 99.9 Coney Country to Southern Utah's #1 source for local news, St. George News, we believe in delivering free, fast, and accurate local news, entertainment, and information to all of Southern Utah through our entertaining on-air personalities and music, compelling local shows, and community events like the City of St. George 4th of July celebration and charitable events like Coney Coins for Kids. From our entire team of dedicated designers, videographers, salespeople, digital marketers, writers, and on-air talent, thank you for letting us be a part of your daily life. Canyon Media, here for you.
Hey, it's Sheldon Demke. Check out the latest episode of What's on the Menu, a behind-the-scenes tour of local restaurants. We'll see some of their favorite dishes and get an inside look on how these dishes are prepared. Check out this week's episode at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Check out this week's edition of TGIF on stgeorgenews.com. TGIF is your weekend adventure guide to all the fun and exciting things going on in Southern Utah this weekend. Find this week's edition at stgeorgenews.com and click the shows on the menu tab. Have a blast this weekend.
As a local business owner, it's important to get the word out about your business. More people equals more revenue for you. Get your business in front of over 160,000 people in Southern Utah each week with St. George News. Contact St. George News today.
Welcome back in, everybody. It is From the Bleachers here on the Fan Sports Network. Caden Formaster and Mark Musgrave.
The voice you know.
Still have Jason Baum in studio with us as well.
The other guy. We'll just go with that.
Told you guys during the break. You guys gave me a headache in the last one. Jeez.
It's,
I don't mind a friendly competition, but there's nothing friendly about that competition.
There's no competition.
Because there's no competition.
Yeah, there wasn't.
There was.
Oh, my goodness.
I think Mark got sick of losing.
Yeah,
and
well,
so
because I beat him really bad on the Sandlot one.
Yeah, you killed
you
me.
did.
You destroyed me.
And, it's just one of those things where he's like, all right, I got to bounce back in some way. So
You did. You destroyed me on that.
Yeah, I did.
And I like that movie.
It's a great movie.
I just don't retain anything.
What's the best baseball movie?
Oh, that's tough to say.
You know what? My favorite to watch. I don't know if it's the
I have
best.
my favorite as well. I'll let you go first.
But my favorite to watch, I always kind of get sucked into it. I love watching 8 Men Out.
It's a good one. I can see that.
I mean,
yeah.
I just love the history part of it, the Black Sox scandal, Shoeless Joe Jackson, everything that kind of went down. It's got a great cast in it too. I don't think that certainly helps, but I enjoy that movie. Now there's other ones that I love too. I love 42.
I was going to say 42 is my
Love
favorite.
42.
42 is my favorite. That's the one that I can watch it a million times and I won't get sick of it.
Yeah, it's for me, and this is one where it's a little weird, but for the love of the game,
Mm-hmm.
I just love the mentality of it, and kind of the when he gets injured and the that breakdown, and even the end where you're kind of identifying, man, this is it.
Yeah,
this is and even the portion where throughout the game where he doesn't even know how well he's doing because he's just reflecting on his life.
Yeah,
to that point, I mean, come on, we've all been. So that's one of my, like I said, I just, for me, that's one that when I catch it playing, I'll continue to watch.
And overrated for me is Field of Dreams. I'd like Field of Dreams, don't get me wrong.
But it's on too many people's favorite lists.
I think it's just a little overrated. It's a little bit slow for me. But, I mean, again, another great cast, but I think it's a little overrated.
Fair
enough.
It's a little. I'll go with you on that. To me, I was the same way. I'm like, I won't sit and watch it if I catch it on TV. I'll be like, I'll watch a few minutes of it, then I'm like, all right.
I could have it on in the background while I'm doing things, but that's
Yeah. Hey, well, real quick to wrap up the show here, let's quickly, and we'll dive into this more another day, but the Nolan Perry's Power Guide is out right now. Let's kind of look at some of our Region 9 teams, see where they stand. We'll go through this list real quick. Crimson Cliffs and Bingham. Bingham is favored with a 14-point differential. Thoughts there?
Bingham is really good.
They are really good.
So there's a couple of games this week that I'm hoping that the Region 9 team really just comes back healthy. Talking about this game and then also the Desert Hills Lehigh game. I'm just hoping that both of those teams just come back healthy.
Yeah.
That's it. Sure, would a win be a cherry on the top? Absolutely, but just come back healthy.
And Lehigh is favored pretty heavily over Desert Hills as well, 26.9 favorites. Cedar is favored over Juab, 2.3 favorites, so just barely favored over Juab.
And Cedar needs to bounce back. We were just talking off air, where both Jason and I, well, and you, Caden, too. We're all three somewhat high on Cedar. Little bit of a disappointing loss that first game. Kind of, Cedar, come on, you kind of made me look bad. I had people at Desert Hills looking into the press box, and they were like, dude, Musgrave, you said they were going to be good. And I'm like, well, they will. I'm still high on them.
Yeah,
I really am.
They'll bounce back. I think so as well. Let's see. We have Hurricane taking on Moapa Valley. They are a 1.2 favorite, just a slight favorite against Moapa.
Hurricane needs to get this win. They need it. I know it's only the second game of the season, but I will promise you this. It doesn't get any easier after this game. Any easier. Once you finish your preseason, you jump into Region 9, it doesn't get any easier. Hurricane, I'm really, really hoping that you get this win because, it doesn't get any easier.
And it'll set some momentum for you.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys got to get the right mindset. And, so I think, and the thing is that that Moapa team, man, they play hard. I mean, that's a tough
They're
team.
They're small town kids, they're definitely some hardworking
cow
kids out there.
tippers, and you got to go down there and you got to earn every foot of it. So they need to go out there and win that one.
Yeah, for sure. Let's look at the Mountain Ridge Dixie game. Mountain Ridge is the favorite by 17.5.
Boy, a lot of big spreads this week.
Big spreads.
3 out of the 4 that we've mentioned already have been a big spread, or actually 3 out of the 5. I can't remember how many we've done, but
Dixie is where that game being played at. Is it?
It's here.
It's here.
Dixie, yeah.
And they got them by 17. I disagree with that one. I think that, like I said, I think Dixie's the thing about it is I am literally since I moved here, and I have heard people year after year talk about how Dixie's down. This is going to be Dixie's down year.
And they're never down.
But they're never down.
Yeah.
I mean, Blaine has had that team every year in and year out. Every year I hear how they don't have the talent, they don't have the kids, but yet year after year, they're 1, 2, and 3. They're just they're always right there. So,
yeah, they are.
So I like I said, I think Ridgeline has got to be, for me. They had one really great year, and that's the biggest school up in Logan. I mean, they got a ton of kids, but I just think that I think that's a little bit overrated. I think Ridgeline's overrated. I think that Dixie will play them a lot tighter than that.
Yep. And then last but not least, we have Snow Canyon with 37.5 favorites over Manti.
Wow.
There you go, Warriors.
Finally
All
one
right.
that goes in the Region 9 box.
Yeah, we have 3 in favor of Region 9. The 2 of them were only slightly. This one is a blowout for Snow Canyon in their favor, which is good for them, and I hope that they are able to make that happen. So,
and Pineview with a 9.8 over Canyon View.
Oh, and I did miss Pineview.
Yeah.
You're all right, which is a good one. Canyon going to be a good team, so that actually is a pretty solid ranking right there.
Pineview coming off a nice win, though, have some nice momentum.
Congratulations, Pineview. Good
Absolutely. Job. All right, that's it. Have a good evening, everybody. We'll be back with you again tomorrow, 4 o'clock, right here on From the Bleachers. Until then, have a good one. We'll see you.